What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, we're going to be using a pretty strong Obstagoon team that you guys can use in the Open Ultra League with Swampert and Cresselia. Cresselia does have Grass Knot, and Swampert also has Community Day move, and Obstagoon does have Obstruct, which has some niche situations, which we're going to showcase today. All right, getting in the first game. Now, what's also cool is I hit Expert with this team as well, so we're finally starting to climb. Now, we have a Cresselia on the lead right here, which can be somewhat of a tough matchup, but what we're going to do is going to go ahead and build up and go for the Night Slash. Remember, Night Slash has a chance to proc your attack, and boom! Obstagoon is turning up today. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put the fear of Night Slash in their eyes and go for an Obstruct now. And this is the niche situation where now we can force a shield, drop their defense, and boost our own. This Obstagoon is about to get out of control. Let's see what happens. Moonblast? Nah, not too much damage. Can't even get us below 50% HP. Now, I go for another Night Slash right here, and look at how much damage that does. I can safely farm down with counter. This is beautiful. They come in with a Trevenant. I'm like, oh man, they are in trouble. Obstagoon not only has a defense boost, but it also has the attack boost, where Night Slash is doing 75% of Trevenant's HP. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're going to go ahead and no-shield the Seed Bomb, as it won't take us out, and we can go for another Night Slash right here. Now, I don't know what their final Pokemon is, but it's clearly weak to Obstagoon if they bring in a Trevenant, so that means it might be weak to Swampert, so I'm thinking maybe something like Registeel might be back there, would be a good idea. So we're going to go ahead and shield. It is going to be another Seed Bomb, and they do bring in actually a Regirock. So we're going to go ahead and go for Night Slash. I just want Obstagoon to sweep this whole team. This is absolutely beautiful. We're going to try to do as much damage as we can, but unfortunately they do get to the Stone Edge in time. That's okay. We have Swampert. It's all about the procs. If you can get a proc with the attack boost from Night Slash and then go for Obstructs, you become unstoppable in certain situations. It's absolutely ridiculous and awesome to see. So we're just going to go ahead and build up to 2 Hydro Cannons right here, and I feel for my opponent. Them seeing the boost on the first Night Slash and then the Obstruct, I don't even want to know what's going through their head other than, oh my gosh, what are the chances? You know, sometimes it happened and I was grinning ear to ear. So good game to my opponent. My Obstagoon rolled the dice and hit the jackpot. Alright, getting into game 2. We have Obstagoon versus Giratina Altered. This is what's also cool about Obstagoon, is it core breaks a lot of teams. Now they do swap into Swampert, so we're going to go ahead and bring in the Cresselia right away because, again, we are running Grass Knot for Swamperts. They're everywhere. So this is why Cresselia has Grass Knot. Now, could you opt for Future Sight instead of Moonblast? Maybe. Could you still win this matchup without Grass Knot? Yeah, probably. But we decided to throw the Grass Knot there, and they decided to no-shield, so that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and farm down. This is what's really cool about Cresselia as well, is you can farm down and have Moonblast ready to go for that Giratina Altered, which also does super effective damage because it is a dragon. So this is why Cresselia has been by far one of my favorite Ultra League Pokemon to run, just because of its versatility, strength, and bulk. It also has Psycho Cut as a fast move, which is very high energy gaining, which just works out really, really well. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. We're going to come back in with our Obstagoon. We do have shield advantage still, and they swap into Cobalion, which we now swap into our Swampert, so that's going to be a good game. We basically kind of hard locked them down. Now, if this was a Virizion in the back, that would be a different story, but I'd also wonder what they're doing to Charm as well. But anyways, the Cobalion right here can't do super effective damage to us because it has likely Sacred Sword and Stone Edge. So we're going to go ahead and look to shield this, no-shield this one. We're going to look to shield the next one that they go for because I think I can live to get 2 more Hydro Cannons off, which means if we get a shield right here, cool, I can get to another one in time. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just let it go. No, I'm going to go ahead and shield, and then we'll go for it. We see them swap out right away, so we're going to go ahead and go into Obstagoon now. But the thought was there. I'm like, they are part Steel type. I could just farm down and have 2 shields and massive loaded energy because the only way Giratina Altered can take me out is with charge moves, right? It's a Shadow Claw variant right now. But I decided to shield, and then they swapped out, which is fine, because we can now just go straight for Night Slashes right here. And this is looking to be a good game. It's going to be 3 Night Slashes in order to take it out. We don't have to shield anything. We need to be more concerned about the final charge move on Cobalion, potentially. Now, they do fish for the boost, so I respect the roll. But ultimately, this is going to be a good game, very well played, because we still have counter as a fast move, which again does super effective damage here against Cobalion. So we're just going to go ahead and shield now and then go for the Night Slash, and that is going to be a good game right there. And that's what Obstagoon kind of does. What I've noticed is if there is a fighter in the back, most likely Cobalion or Virizion, they're most likely in the back. The leads are typically like Giratinas, Tapu Finis, Walrein, stuff like that. So Walrein, very positive lead. They swap into Swampert. We come in with Cresselia right away. Like, it's a beautiful rhythm that we have right here, especially with Walrein safe swaps, or not Walrein safe swap, Walrein leads. The Swampert comes in to try to draw out the Giratina Altered, right? Because it does have access to Earthquake, which can pressure shields if they decide to let 2 through. So we're just going to go ahead and let this go through. Fully farmed down, and Cresselia, again, has a lot of energy, and we can do super effective damage on the back end. Like with Giratina Altered on the lead from the last game, this time we have Grass Knot here for Shadow Walrein, and this Shadow Walrein is going to have to throw energy because they cannot Powder Snow us down, because 2 Grass Knots might just be enough to KO. The first one, yeah, 50% HP right there. That is absolutely beautiful. That means we can get to the second one in time, which now means we're forcing a shield as well. This Cresselia is so solid for me right now. Now, they're going to have to throw. I'm going to get to another Grass Knot in time, so they do decide to throw the Powder, or the Icicle Spear here, which is fine. I can come in with Obstagoon. We have Swampert ready to go. They swap. Okay, they got a Charizard. Another triple lock right here. Just the luck of the draw, I guess, with this set. But I'll take it. You know, sometimes you just kind of breeze through these games. All right, next one. We got Obstagoon on the lead versus Defense Form Deoxys. No more breezing through. This is a bad lead. We're going to go ahead and swap out into Cresselia, and they swap in a Shadow Drapion. So this is going to be really, really tough. Defense Form Deoxys can do very well against both Obstagoon and Swampert, just applying a lot of, well, super effective damage with counters, right, to Obstagoon, and a lot of neutral damage to Swampert, as well as being extremely tanky. This is the Ultra League. It's already bulky in Great League, and Ultra League, it's on a whole nother level. So we're going to go ahead and let this next crunch go through, because I think I can survive. And I do survive with 1 HP, which allows me to get off this Moonblast. And my hope is that they don't survive. Oh, they barely do! 1, 2, no! 1, literal 1 health point. How ridiculous is that? 1 health point on both sides, and I would have completely flipped this around. Now, what you're going to see in a second is ultimately this doesn't matter. I'm going to try to go for a Night Slash right here just to see if I can maybe fish out a shield, and then I have to go into Swampert. I can't stay in. I do swap into Swampert, and they decide to stay in and look to go for a charge move, so I'm wondering, you know what? What if there's like a steal in the back? I'm going to go ahead and shield. It is going to be Psycho Boost. But no, it's a Scrafty. So this is how I was having a nice breeze, right? With Walrein and Swampert and Charizard. Oh, this is beautiful. We're locking it down. Nope. The Defense Form Deoxys, Scrafty, and Shadow Drapion team, very strong, can just put work into my team. So I decided to shield the Foul Play, so that was actually a good shield right there. Obstagoon's not going to be doing anything else in this game, so my hope is to maybe try to catch a charge move on Obstagoon and have a lot of loaded energy right here. Maybe Swampert can somehow do something, but ultimately I think it's going to be a loss. They still have a shield left, so we're going to try to catch that charge move, but they hold it, and now they go for what is likely going to be a Power-Up Punch. I think it actually does more damage than Foul Play. Yeah, it is going to be a Power-Up Punch right there. And then they swap into Defense Form Deoxys. So then I'm like, maybe I get this final shield and then I can Earthquake, but the Defense Form Deoxys no-shields it, and they have a lot of energy left from loading up against Obstagoon and Cresselia. So that's going to be a good game. I get double Psycho boosted right there. And honestly, there's really nothing I could do. Even if I won Switch, right, had the Cresselia beat the Drapion right there, there was still a Scrafty for Obstagoon, so Obstagoon did not have a good time. All right, good game. We got Obstagoon Mirror now. So this is actually very dangerous, and what I noticed is my opponent went for an extra attack, and I'm going for the charge move right away, so I get a shield, and I'm going to swap, banking praying that this is going to be a cross chop. And it was beautiful. Absolutely perfect. I couldn't have gone for anything better because, again, I am running Obstruct here for some niche situations like we showcased earlier where we got the boost on the lead in somewhat of a neutral matchup and then decided to boost our own defenses, putting the fear of the Night Slash damage in them. So now we can go for Moonblast here against this Obstagoon, but I'm going to have to be careful because they look like they might be weak in the back to Cresselia. They're not swapping out, so I'm going to go ahead and shield, load up a little bit on energy, and they got an attack boost as well, so we got to get this Obstagoon out of here. Just because it's that low on health doesn't mean it can't absolutely wreck me with Night Slash. So I decided to swap back into my own Obstagoon. That's how long that thing has been on the field. We swapped back into it. So now let's see what they have in the back. We kept Cresselia alive. It is going to be a Nidoqueen. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go for Night Slash right here. I'm hoping I can maybe get to 2. It's obviously not worth going for Obstruct. It's going to do no damage. It's better to try to go for 2 Night Slashes, but no, 1 fast move away, unfortunately. But now we have Swampert with a shield, and we still have Cresselia. So let's see what they're going to do. Earth Power will not one-shot us, so I'm not going to give up a shield on a potential Poison Fang. So it is going to be the Earth Power. That's fine. And then I should have known they were going to swap out. Like you could see it coming a mile away that they swap out on Hydro Cannon, and they swapped into a Tapu Fini, which made sense why they didn't come in to the Cresselia, because Cresselia with Grass Knot and Psycho Cut really puts in work against this whole team. So we're looking very, very good right now. This game is going to be won with our Swampert and a shield, basically. So we're going to go ahead and no shield this Surf as we can survive. Go for load up a little bit extra energy. Go for Grass Knot now, and hopefully that I can survive. Again, Cresselia is very bulky, so I'm hoping I can actually survive and get to a Grass Knot here versus the Nidoqueen, which I can. And this does neutral damage, which is really, really good for us because that nearly KOs. Swampert then can come in and fast move down, and we safely shield right here. There's no reason to let anything go through, as it is going to be an Earth Power. So that's going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one, we got Obstagoon versus Skuntank. Okay, this is another one of those situations where Obstruct might pay off. So we're going to go ahead and build up, and I'm going to go for the Obstruct here. The Skuntank is deciding to stay in, and Skuntank being the typing that it is and the moveset it has, I'm very, very curious if they have maybe some type of ghosts or something in the back or steals, but we'll have to see. So we're going to go ahead and just load up on energy, look to go for the Night Slash now. They got to know I don't have Cross Chop, so they're probably going to be no shielding everything, and I'm fishing for the boost right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just double shield and farm down. This is such a risky play, but I'm reading that Obstagoon might be very, very strong in the back. So we're going to go ahead and just farm down. This is high risk, high reward. It's going to be a Tapu Fini. So I swap into Cresselia, and they are not swapping out. So let's see what's going to be in the back. It's going to be another Cresselia. So this is actually looking pretty decent for us. Granted, the Obstagoon did not do well against the backline whatsoever. I mean, it can put in a lot of work against their Cresselia, but that's okay because we can just go straight for Moonblast right here. And remember, we still have Night Slash loaded, almost 2. I think I'm 2 counters away from 2 Night Slash. So we're going to have to see if we can swap into our Obstagoon to try to chunk some shields from this Cresselia, because the only way I win is with Grass Knot damage and an Earthquake from our Swampert onto the Tapu Fini. So we're going to go ahead and go for Grass Knot now. They debuffed us with the Moonblast, and I'm going to swap now into Obstagoon and look to go for the Night Slash, hoping I start forcing shields. I think this is what's really important. But they decided to let it go, and we do get to another one in time. Perfect. So I was exactly 2 away, which is perfect because if we can get this shield right here, which we do, that means we might just be able to take out this Tapu Fini with both the help of Swampert and the Cresselia. So now we can't come in with Swampert right here. I don't want to get hit with a Grass Knot. So we got to come in with our own Cresselia, load up a little bit, and go for the Grass Knot now to try to take them out. If they decide to shield, it's a good game, but most likely they're letting it go. And now this is where the work begins. We gotta try to land 2 Grass Knots so that we force a shield, land super effective damage, and then try to go into Swampert. They let the first one go through, which is great, and then no, I don't get to the next one in time, and I think this is going to be just enough for Moonblast, which it is. So now it is up to Swampert, and this is a very, very dangerous endgame. They have 1 shield. I build up to the Earthquake and throw Hydro Cannon because if this lands, I still think it's enough neutral resisted damage to take him out. And now I'm critically watching to see how much health I will have remaining. Look at how much this Surf does. We survive. That means I can survive the next Surf. This is going to be very close. I think I'm 1 or 2 mud shots away. So let's see. We survive. Yeah, that's enough health. Go for the Earthquake. Yes, we get it in time. And I was staring at my face was like inches away from the screen just staring. Am I going to survive this? And we did. Good game right there to my opponent. Again, able to hit Expert with this team. Really fun. And I think very strong. All 3 Pokemon are great in the Ultra League altogether, so you can run them on different teams as well. But overall, very, very, very solid. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.